Welcome, I'm Stavros Mastrogiannis, and in today's episode of Simple Truths on Weight Loss and Health, I want to talk about how to improve your health. Because the bottom line is, there's been a lot of panic about the coronavirus. And I'll be panicking myself if I did not know what I know. And I truly believe the media could really help subside some of this panic by giving people some of the good news. People are recovering from the coronavirus. Yes, unfortunately, people with health issues have died because of the coronavirus, but the vast majority of people are recovering. And to me, I'm all about focusing what can I do? What can I do to protect myself from not just the coronavirus, but any kind of disease or any kind of virus? And the best protection is to improve your health. The healthier you are, the better off you will be, the more protected you will be. And the other thing people need to keep in mind is that just because you got exposed to some virus or to some bacteria, it doesn't necessarily mean you're going to get sick. Okay, viruses, bacteria are, you can call them opportunistic life forms. And what I mean by that is that just because you got exposed, actually, a whole bunch of people can be exposed to the same virus or bacteria, and not all people will going to get sick. So what is the main difference between people who get sick and people who do not get sick? And the main difference is their immune system. The healthier people, the immune system is able to fight off the bacteria or the virus, where unhealthier people can't. So to me, I'm all about focusing on what can I do? What can I do to protect myself? And the best thing you can do is improve your health. Now, what is the key to healthy and lean body? It's your daily habitual behaviors. And again, if you want to maintain a lean and healthy body, by the way, because yes, there are shortcuts you can take to get a lean and healthy body. The problem with shortcuts is you can't maintain it. And again, the question is, what is the point of achieving a lean and healthy body if you can't maintain it? So we have to focus on our daily habitual behavior, because the bottom line is, if you are overweight and unhealthy, that's because you engage in habitual behaviors that are causing you to gain weight and be unhealthy. So what you want to do is change those behaviors. And the best way to do that is by creating an action plan. Because the bottom line is that there's a lot of things you could do to lose weight and improve your health. And if you focus on everything you need to do, it becomes overwhelming. It's like trying to get a law degree, and having to do all your classes on the first day of the first semester. Nobody can do that. Well, I'm sure there's a few people that can. But the vast majority of people cannot do that. It's overwhelming. Well, it's the same thing with health. There's a lot of things we need to do to improve our health, and we can't just go do them all at once. Unfortunately, though, if you look at most of the weight loss programs on the market today, they expect people to just do everything at once. And that is why the vast majority of people burn out and quit, regardless of the results. And I've said that in many of my videos, that the best results in the world will not keep anyone motivated if the results were achieved through a method that is overwhelming. So my suggestion would be to start with the exercise part. And to me, the worst thing you can do is do this really intense workouts, having a personal trainer yelling over your head, trying to motivate you. That will lead to burnout for the vast majority of people. The one thing I've had conversation with a lot of my clients is how the previous trainer used to really push them hard. I disagree with that method, because the thing is, this no pain, no gain philosophy does not work. Yes, you might get slightly faster results, but you'll be so burnt out by the time you get those results, you're gonna lose them anyway. So what's the point? Okay, so to me, the yelling and screaming doesn't work. At least that's the way, live your way thing, we don't approach fitness that way. What does work is focus on breaking down exercise into very small parts that you can easily repeat for long periods. Because guess what? That's how habits are formed. Repetition. So you repeat something long enough, that something will become habitual. So how do you ensure that you can repeat something long enough to make it a habit? Keep the action simple. I'll give you a personal example. I decided a few years back that I'm going to increase my vertical jump. So what I did was, I set the 2 exercises that I knew would have the biggest impact. Obviously, if you read books on vertical jumps, there's tons of different exercises you can do. I picked the 2 that will have the biggest impact. Those 2 exercises would take me less than 2 minutes to do. Less than 2 minutes, actually. And I would do them 3 times a week. I spend no more than 3 minutes, actually, per week doing those simple exercises. And guess what? After 7 months of doing them, my vertical jump increased by a lot. I remember when I first started, I could jump on the box that was, I think it was a foot and a half off the ground. Now I can jump on the box that's over 3 feet off the ground from the dead stop. Applying, investing 3 minutes per week. You'd be surprised. Small amount of time invested in doing one little thing, how much of a difference that one thing can make. So with exercise, same thing. Start with walking. Just walk. Get into the habit of walking. I don't know if you heard, I'm doing a 5-minute walking challenge, which I would encourage you to join. You can find a link in the description of this video about it. And the challenge is to walk every day for 5 minutes. That's it. Because if you only have to walk 5 minutes, chances are you will do it even when you don't feel like it. And you do that for 60 days, guess what? By the end of the 60 days, walking will be second nature to you. And by the way, you'll be walking a lot longer than 5 minutes. Then you can add push-ups. And you can do them against the furniture if you can't do a regular push-up. Or you can do them on your knees. Then maybe add some crunches, maybe add some squats. But the idea is you don't need to do this full body workout right away. You can start by introducing one exercise at a time as you feel more comfortable. Once you get the exercise habit going, then start working on your eating habits. And that's another thing that I want to talk about a little bit, because when it comes to eating habits, if you talk to most nutritionists, they will tell you about the foods that are good for you and the foods that are not good for you. You see, the fact is, there's a lot more to proper nutrition than the food you eat or you don't eat. How you eat is as important as what you eat. And you know what the funny part is? All my schooling in school on nutrition, on proper nutrition that I had, not one talked about the importance of how you eat. In other words, fasting. How often do you eat? Less often, better off you are. How fast do you eat? And all those things I learned on my own. And the reason I question my professors in school is because what I was learning in nutrition in school contradicted my upbringing. And as I've said before, I was raised on the Greek island. And when I lived there, thin and healthy was the norm. And we ate very differently than is the way is recommended here by mainstream nutritionists. The one thing you need to realize is that mainstream nutritionists are greatly influenced by lobbyists and by the food industry, which their job is to sell food. So a lot of information that would kill the sale of food are suppressed, and that is an unfortunate fact, because otherwise, how do you explain the fact that fasting, for instance, is one of the best things, if not the best thing you can do for your health? And yet, how many mainstream nutritionists do you know that teach the benefits of fasting, which, by the way, is the first eating habit I recommend people to develop, the 16-hour rule. In other words, allow your body to go for 16 hours or longer without eating. Finally, you have Dr. Oz talk about it, which I'm glad he's doing it. But I've been teaching the 16-hour habit for the past 10, 15 years now, and there's people that were teaching it even before me. So, and what I find interesting is a lot of my past clients called me up when Dr. Oz came out and said about the 16 hours, goes, wow, you've been teaching this stuff for the past 10, 15 years, and in the beginning we didn't believe you because I didn't have a PhD in nutrition. Okay? The fact is that you can't just trust the experts. We have to think for ourselves also. And I would say what I teach today in nutrition, most of the stuff I've learned on my own, not through my schooling. So, and Dr. Yoshinori Asumi, and I apologize if I'm mispronouncing his name, he won a Nobel Prize for discovering the mechanism through which autophagy benefits the body. And by the way, autophagy is the process where the body recycles old protein, and it was discovered back in the 70s, actually. And so it's nothing new. We knew about it. How come mainstream nutrition don't teach it, though? And again, only lately you hear about the, we call it the intermittent fasting and all that stuff, which is, again, very glad to see. But anyways, that would be the first habit I would work on. Second habit, I would work on eat less often. Okay, try not to eat throughout the day. Eat once or twice a day. It's plenty. Then once you tackle that, tackle the slow and mindful. Learn to eat slow and chew your food before you swallow. Taste what you're eating. Then I go into what you're eating. Again, my first rule on that is I will work on junk food. And my goal for my clients is not to eliminate junk food, because let's face it, junk food tastes way too good to give up. And I enjoy my junk food, but the idea behind it is make it special. Have it on the weekends. Have it on your birthday, on holidays. Enjoy it. Nothing wrong with junk food. Junk food gets us in trouble when we eat it all the time. Remember, the body can tolerate some bad food. Then I get into, after you get used to that, get into maybe increase your fruits and vegetables and decrease your animal products. We eat way too much meat. And again, I'm not saying become a vegan. I do enjoy my steaks, but we eat way too much meat. And that's how I would suggest that you work on the eating part, is work on one habit at a time. Don't be in the rush so you can lose weight fast. Because remember, what is the point of losing weight fast if you're going to gain the weight back? So take your time. Now, in my 27 years in the weight loss field, I know there's many ways to develop new habits, but by far the best way is to work on one habit at a time. This is the way I've helped thousands of people change their eating habits in my long career, and I found nothing comes remotely close to helping people make permanent change in their daily habitual behaviors than the method of working on one habit at a time. Again, I want to emphasize, it only seems slow, but in reality, it's the fastest way to lose weight, because you do it this way, you don't have to worry about your weight again. Now, for those of you who need help with losing weight and applying new habitual behaviors, or they want to find out more information, what kind of habits I need to develop, check out my Simple Way to Vibrant Health how-to guide. I've included a link in the description of this video if you would like to learn more about my system and how it can help you not just develop new habitual behaviors, but how to make them part of your everyday life. So when you lose weight and improve your health, you can maintain the results. Thank you for watching. For those of you who are new to my channel, please don't forget to subscribe. And it would do me a huge favor by sharing and liking this video, so it would help me greatly to spread my message. Again, thank you, and I'll see you in the next video.
Like a bird on a tree, I'm just sitting